evening and welcome to the Sports Bar on TalkSport. I'm Jermaine Pennant. Alongside me, the legend, that is Jermaine Pennant. Two massive games to have a look at tonight. Macclesfield, what an effort. So close to keeping Brentford out. Nearly earned themselves a trip to the London Stadium, but it is Brentford that go through. Coventry have regained their place at the top of the Championship. Huge 3-1 win against Borough. Middlesbrough did play very well, though. Elsewhere, Igor Tudor is at the wheel. Does this appointment excite Spurs fans? I really want to hear from Spurs fans tonight because that is a massive risk. I know he fights fires, but jeez, I don't know. God, I'd like to know what Spurs fans are thinking. Spurs are back. Former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher will be coming on later on to go over the shambles at Villa Park over the weekend. There's even more live football on the TalkSport Network tomorrow as well. Champions League is back. Get involved in this show. We'll give you the FA Cup 5th round draw as well. 03 717 22 33 44. Spurs are back. Right, Jammer.
Hello, matey.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
You got a late call up.
Oh, late-ish.
Was it late-ish? Yeah.
Late-ish, a couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago.
I think so.
Really?
When was it?
I mean, Cundy never. It was literally this morning.
Was it this morning?
Yes.
No, it might be yesterday.
No, it was this morning. Surely you knew that. Like, you didn't know you was on tonight until this morning.
I don't know, because I did Inside Liverpool. So I think it was yesterday.
Brilliant. That is the preparation that goes into TalkSport here.
I'll tell you right now. Let's get out my phone.
He's going to get your phone up. Come on in. Let us know, because I got told at about 2 o'clock that Cundy was doing drive.
Right, so I got the message at 10 to 1.
He said 2 days.
And I responded at 1:30. Say, yeah, because I'm in the morning anyway.
Oh, dear me. How are you?
It's all a blur. It just goes, yeah, I'm good, mate.
All rolls into one, mate.
Yeah.
Sums you up.
No, but I'm all good, mate.
Yeah. Look, loads to go at. We'll start with obviously the games tonight. We watched both of them. We had them both on in the green room. Decent performance from Macclesfield. It's only right that we give them their dues. You know, coming and playing against a Premier League outfit. They weren't great, but they got the job done. Brentford.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it's about in those ties. You know, that kind of, especially that pitch as well, that 4G. I'm never a fan of it.
No, I've seen you play on it.
Yeah, it's not nice, especially the next day. Your back, your knees, your
everything.
Everything's aching. No, but like I said, it's a solid performance. Go there, get the job done. It's always going to be, difficult, these kind of ties. And full credit to Macclesfield. They played 2 Premier League teams and they've not conceded a goal. I know they lost 1-0, but they haven't scored. A Premier League team hasn't scored against them. It was an own goal.
What do you mean?
Macclesfield actually scored it. Macclesfield scored the goal.
But Brentford won 1-0.
Yeah, I know, but Brentford didn't actually score themselves. It was an own goal. So you can look at it as in like no Brentford player scored.
Yeah.
No Crystal Palace player scored.
Right.
But Macclesfield, their own player, has scored a goal.
Right.
So ultimately, you can go, do you know what? They actually did. We scored, but they actually didn't score against us.
Right. Is it? I think they'll be buzzing off that in the dressing room.
Yeah, I think it will.
It'll be buzzing.
We can hold our own against the Premier League. Do
you know what? I was obviously watching the game. It does show how strong the football pyramid is, right? Because, a team, Macclesfield, who are right down there, playing in the lower leagues of English football, but they can actually go and have a go. I don't know if there's anywhere in the world which has got a pyramid like that. The football, we played in non-league, me and you. Like
quick stint.
Yeah, well, yours was.
Thank God.
But the standard actually is decent, right? National League, decent players, League Two. You're not convinced still. Why are you looking at me like that? You're out of order. Why are you looking at me like that? I've seen you play against Enfield Town, mate. All right?
I know, but do you know how difficult it is to play against people?
Good team, Enfield.
People you don't know what they're actually going to do. What they're supposed to do, they don't do, and you're just like confused. Like, how have you managed to do that? Because you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, but there are, like, tonight, Macclesfield has shown that they're a decent side, right?
Yeah, they can hold their own, for sure.
The pyramid's great, especially with fans as well. The fan pyramid is amazing.
Yeah, I think English football as a whole is top tier. Doesn't matter where you go down, as in if you look at other leagues around the world, and championship teams could hold their own in France, in their first division. I think English football is solid.
Yeah.
and we're proving that in the Champions League.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone, I mean, obviously Champions League. We've got to talk about Champions League later on in the show. What about, obviously, the Championship game, first versus second? Coventry come out on top, 3-1 winners on the night. Middlesbrough actually played really well.
That scoreline flattered. If you watch the game, if you haven't watched the game, you go 3-1, you go, oh yeah, Coventry must have, done well and really, gave them a whooping.
Yeah.
But no. Middlesbrough gone away from that game thinking, how have we come away from this 3-1?
Yeah. Whooping.
Because every time we watched it, Middlesbrough on the attack.
Yeah, I know.
One of the goals was actually the goalkeeper got an assist, booted the ball long, misjudged it, gone through, scored. And then a penalty, another one, which was, for me, is harsh.
You think that's a penalty?
No, this is why one thing that frustrates me is when you're trying to block a shot and you jump up with your legs or whatever to try and block the shot, your arms automatically will go to a certain position, not to block a ball, but just for your landing, just for your the gravity when you're in the air.
Yeah,
it's a natural thing. His hand wasn't like in sky high, way above his head. It was just as you jump.
Yeah,
if you go and jump in your living room right now, your hands are not going to be by your side. So why can't referees put that into consideration that it is a natural position? This is why I think referees need to just go and play 11 aside. Just have a game of football and just see how it is.
Yeah.
To understand the fundamentals and the biomechanics of football and how you tackle, how you jump.
Do you think, though, because obviously we've seen some shockers, we're going to get them on later on. Do you think, though, that obviously tonight, I thought it was harsh. I thought it was a harsh penalty. We've seen the ones over the weekend, no VAR, Aston Villa decisions, absolutely shocking. Is that why we have VAR in the game? And I know everyone don't like it and everyone wants to get rid of it and all that hoo-ha about it and decisions, but referees can't be trusted.
Well, they've clearly shown that in the Aston Villa Newcastle game with two bad decisions. Very, very bad decisions. They genuinely...
If they had VAR tonight in that Championship game, I think that gets overturned.
Yeah.
I do.
I think they'll probably get sent to them on. I'd say, okay, yeah, his hands were in a natural position. He was looking away. He wasn't trying to stop the ball from going in. It was a natural position.
Yeah.
So I think the correct outcome would have been, no.
Do you think that's why VAR has to stay in the game?
Again, I'm going to turn back to the Newcastle and Aston Villa Newcastle game. Absolutely. When you've got a top Premier League manager, referee, making calls like that, who's got his assistant linesman looking along the line also, who can see all the play and where the player is. But everybody watching this game, everybody in the stand knows it's a penalty, but you've got two people who are supposed to officiate in the game, don't call it. That is baffling. And I think you need VAR because we'll have these decisions every single week.
Yeah.
And there'll be an uproar.
Yeah, I know.
That could either get someone promoted, that can get someone relegated. And so that's why VAR is here.
Yeah, I want to know what people think about VAR. Obviously, we've seen bad decisions over the weekend. It probably is here to stay, but there have been people who wanted it out. But I think tonight
it's made referees lazy. It's bailed them out. Like he could have given that decision. VAR would have overturned it. No noise on him. He goes away. Good game, ref.
Yeah.
Because there's no VAR now, he's like, I'm going to leave it, and it looks awful. They've made referees now lazy because they get bailed out by VAR.
Yeah, they actually get away with it because from the free kick, Newcastle scored at the weekend.
And if they didn't, would have been uproar. Just imagine if they got knocked out.
No, I mean, outrageous decisions, really. We're going to get Derm on later on, but let us know what you think. Big night of football on the TalkSport Network. We want to hear from you on both games tonight, plus FA Cup action. Want to hear from Spurs fans as well on the new interim manager. Does that mean Pochettino is going to rock up in the summer? But let's start with the FA Cup. Brentford only just got by Macclesfield. Here's how the draw looks for the fifth round, which we played on the 7th and 8th of March. I've got it here. Fifth round draw. We got Fulham v Southampton, Port Vale Bristol City v Sunderland, Newcastle v Manchester City. Bit late there, Harry. That's a big game. What game that is? Leeds United v Norwich City. Mansfield Town have got Arsenal. I mean, what a tie that is for them. But Arsenal, well, look, they'll make it hard, I would have thought. Definitely. Look, Wolves v Liverpool. I tell you what, we'll talk about Liverpool, your old team. They could go and still win a couple of trophies here. Wrexham, what a tie for them. They've got Chelsea at home, and West Ham will play Brentford. What's the pick of the ties there, matey?
I'm going Wrexham Chelsea.
Yeah, it's a great game, that. Just because of the story, it's a big game for them.
They'll be up for it. It's going to be a difficult place.
Yeah.
You know, Chelsea, we've seen, can be hit and miss. Could be a giant killing moment. The story as well with the Hollywood owners. Yeah, I think that's going to be the tie.
Yeah. Great time. Yeah, great time. Spurs ain't in there. Now, let's have a look
Newcastle, Manchester City is the normal.
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, it's a great game. Let's look back at the weekend. Dominic Szoboszlai as well scored a cracker. Liverpool brushed aside Brighton at Anfield to reach the FA Cup fifth round. Tony Cascarino, he weighed in on his thoughts after the game on weekend breakfast, suggesting that there is not much that separates Szoboszlai and Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard.
I just feel like he's going to play now. He's got, I think, about 12 goals this year. He's been on a pretty decent run. He's a league winner last year, had a great season. Is Szoboszlai up with a Gerrard standard? I'd love to know what Liverpool fans thought, because I think, but him and Gerrard, there ain't a lot in it.
It feels early.
As Gerrard was
early to compare. No.
Well, it may do, but I mean, Steven Gerrard at 25, 26 was amazing. He dragged the team, a bit like Szoboszlai has done this season, but Liverpool did win the Champions League in 2005. And look, an outstanding, if not the best ever Liverpool midfielder. But I wondered how close Szoboszlai was to Gerrard.
Sorry. Oh, Tony. Look. I kind of listen. I kind of understand what he's trying to say. Well,
do you?
Well, I do, but it's wrong. What I'm going to say is that Szoboszlai is the closest thing to the Steven Gerrard that we've had, or the midfielders that we've had.
Yeah,
I would say he's the closest. You look at all the
box to box.
Goals, Emery Chan we've had Jordan Henderson, those number 8 midfielders kind of role. Szoboszlai, you say his profile is probably the closest to Steven Gerrard. That's not me saying he's better or he's going to be better or he's anywhere near Steven Gerrard. Not at all. I'm just saying his profile as a player. You know, scraping his through games, scoring worldies against Arsenal free kick, also against Man City. Just his whole aura about him. He's a little bit number 8, Stevie Gerrard-esque. But no, he's nowhere near him. Absolutely not.
Do you think he could be?
Oh, I'm going to have to see years of good performances and dragging Liverpool across the line before I can even contemplate.
We did drag him across the line last season, something that Gerrard hasn't done in the Premier League.
Well, he has. There's only so much one player can do. And Gerrard done a lot. Gerrard got them to Champions League finals. Gerrard ultimately won them the Champions League final. He was a start of the comeback. He rallied them up in the changing room for them to come out the way they did. And yeah, Szoboszlai's been amazing and one of their standout players. But to put him on the same pedestal as Steven Gerrard now is blasphemy.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like people forget how good Steven Gerrard was. I think people forget how good some players are. You know, we talk about Van Dijk. Oh, he's the greatest centre half ever, and you look back and go, hold on a minute, John Terry, and Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand. Like, people forget Vincent Kompany. You know, and everyone talks about Van Dijk being the greatest centre half ever.
But I think he is. I think he's. If you out of all those you named, look at the age of Van Dijk now. Okay.
What?
Look at the age of Van Dijk.
What, you think he's better than all of them?
He's, what is it? Is he 34? At 34, Rio was playing at Queen's Park Rangers. Van Dijk is at Liverpool playing competitive football, playing in Champions Leagues, still scoring. He's scored more goals than all of those defenders you've named. So how can you disrespect Van Dijk like that? He's still playing at the top of his game.
Are you genuinely sitting here and saying that Van Dijk's better than John Terry? Are you genuinely saying that? You're saying he's better than John Terry, he's better than Rio Ferdinand? I mean, this wasn't even a discussion that I thought we was going to have, but I can't believe you even said that.
If you said, do you want John Terry or Virgil van Dijk, I'm having Virgil van Dijk all day.
Are you joking? Are you joking?
Do you know what? You're
having a laugh?
When Chelsea won, do you know how many games John Terry played? He played about 13. He played on under 21s. And now you're telling me I can't. Are you having a laugh?
Oh, mate, come on.
John Terry's a legend, yes. But if you are saying, as a defender, 1v1, who would I want to run up against? I'm going John Terry every
You
single
couldn't get past
week.
either of them, by the
Well,
way.
yeah, I think I scored against them when I played at Leeds, when I put John Terry on his bum.
Oh, mate. I can't believe you're saying that.
So,
This
do you want to go on
was not-
YouTube and I'll back it up? I'll show you. On the clip, I'll show you.
Jammer.
What?
Come on, mate. Come on.
Listen, for me, if I had a choice out of John Terry or Virgil, I'm having Virgil. Tell me what.
Are you? Come on.
What do you mean?
No.
What, have you never seen John Terry? Because Virgil's had maybe a little sticky. This season's been a bit off the ball.
Do you know John Terry?
Can
was
I tell
like
you?
the top
Okay.
player in the Premier League for like 10 years.
Okay. Since when did John Terry?
And Rio Ferdinand as well.
Since when did John Terry come second in the Ballon d'Or? Since
Who
when?
cares about the Ballon d'Or?
Well, the best players in the world do.
Oh, mate, do me a favour. What are you on about? Are you joking? Oh, come on, mate. Jammer, listen.
Mate. I'm really confused.
You're confused. You actually genuinely believe that Virgil van Dijk is better than John Terry?
Yeah.
Better than Rio Ferdinand? Better than Vidic?
I'm not. Look, they're all great players, but I'm saying John Terry, I would rather have Virgil van Dijk than John Terry. I think that's a fair opinion.
Well, listen, you're entitled to your opinion, but I think your opinion is ridiculous. We was talking about Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
And we've turned in. I'd like to know. I want to know what you think. Give us a call 03717 2233 44. I'm going to have to get some stats up with John Terry and Rio Ferdinand and just give you a bit of a lesson. But look, just going on Szoboszlai because these are from. You know what? Forget that. I don't want to talk about that because I'm going to go to Paul, who's a Man United fan. Paul.
Man United have got 3 defenders I can name straight away that are better than Van Dijk.
Go on.
Yab Sam, Nemanja Vidic, Rio Ferdinand, all 3 better. Nemanja Vidic was Premier League Player of the Year twice.
Yeah. How many trophies did he win? I mean,
He's not Ballon d'Or, though. Was he
Van Dijk,
nominated for a
all day.
Ballon d'Or?
I've got no stats in front of me because it wasn't a conversation I thought we
None
were
of
gonna
these
have, but-
defenders have been named for a Ballon d'Or. Come on, that alone, that just shuts the argument. How can you not get named for a Ballon d'Or, but a bit better than a player who's come second in the Ballon d'Or?
He comes second.
I think there's only 4. There's only 3 or 4 players who've been nominated for Premier League Player of the Year twice, or
Forget
won
about
it. Premier League Player of the Year twice.
Ballon d'Or. Who cares about Premier League?
Did he win it? Did he win it?
He got not. He came second. He just came behind Messi or Ronaldo. What defender's ever done that? Tell me.
Nemanja Vidic was far better than him, hands down. Just look at the things that he's won as well.
He didn't win the Premier and the PFA. PFA is a weak one. So come on. I've
He won the Premier League Player of the Year twice.
Van Dijk won it in 2018-19 season.
Twice. The only other players to do it, I think, like Henry, Ronaldo. I can't remember the other one, but there's
Kevin
only
De
4
Bruyne.
players he's done it.
I've seen Torres put Vidic on his bum
Salah's
bum.
won it as well. But yeah, centre halves.
Do you not remember Torres at Old Trafford put Vidic on his bum bum?
Yeah, but everyone can get put on their backside, right? Like, everyone can get put on their backside when someone does
I've not seen
something amazing.
Van Dijk put on his backside.
Are you? What?
I've not seen him put on his backside.
Mate, I'll leave.
I've seen
I'll
him
leave.
slip,
Have
but
are
I've
you
not seen a
joking?
player turn him in out. Get on your bum.
Mate, he twerks. He does.
That's
he
not
twerks.
playing him on his- that's
For the
not-
last 2
that's just
seasons, he's been
backing
twerking in
off.
the box.
One game against Chelsea.
Oh,
Maybe two games.
Jermaine.
I can get you clips of John Terry getting absolutely rinsed.
Yeah, of course, everyone can.
Well then.
Everyone can get put on their backside, but consistency. We're talking about a great player.
Oh, my
you
God.
You cannot.
Since Liverpool bought Van Dijk, he
cannot put them
changed
in the same
Liverpool.
bracket.
Alisson Van Dijk changed Liverpool, and he was the rock of that team. I'm just really how you disrespecting Van Dijk like this.
No, I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not saying he's not a brilliant football player. But
what makes John Terry better than Van Dijk? Virgil van Dijk. If you put them together,
John Terry
Go
was
on.
at Chelsea as a leader and a captain for what 10 years.
just because you're captain and leader means you're a better player.
Like won multiple Premier Leagues, was one of the best players in the Premier League. Was unbelievable with both feet. Could defend. You know, he scored goals.
2000 thing when they won the league, he wasn't a part of it. He played 13 games.
Oh,
What? I'm just giving you stats.
mate, honestly, I've just been speaking to John Terry about a paddle match. I might have to phone him and get him on and talk absolute garbage. Wow. Paul, listen, thanks for your call.
Cheers, Paul.
People can have their say on this. It wasn't a conversation I thought we was going to have. I want to talk about FA Cup. If you're a Macclesfield fan, phone us up. Coventry, Middlesbrough tonight. I want to speak to Spurs fans as well about Igor Tudor. Obviously, loads to go at now. John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Jaap Stam, Vincent Kompany. Are they better than Van Dijk? 03 717 22 3344.
Spurs are back.
You are listening to the Sports Pub Talk Sport. Me, Jermaine Pennant. We're going to take a look at new Spurs manager Igor Tudor. I want your say on that, Spurs fans. 03717 223344. Before the break, me and Jermaine having a bit of a conversation about Virgil van Dijk. Out of nowhere, Jermaine is claiming that he's better than all of John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Vincent Kompany, and Nemanja Vidic. An unbelievable.
I didn't say all of them.
No, you did.
Definitely Terry and Vidic.
No, you said all of them. You said all of them. You did. So back's just
No.
Stick with your argument,
I'll stick with
and
it.
that's
I thought
fine.
Terry. It was on about Terry.
And everyone's entitled to their opinion. I know you're a Liverpool man, but it's outrageous. And
How can it be outrageous?
it's an outrageous. It's outrageous. Let's go to Ali, who's a Man United fan. Ali,
Hello, mate. You're right.
I'm all right. Ali, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I was just listening to you guys, and then Jermaine kind of triggered me off as well. Like you just gave me.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jermaine saying obviously John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, they never came in the second in the Ballon d'Or. So Van Dijk is better than them. But if you think about it like that, Sergio Ramos, Puyol, Nesta, Maldini, they never came second in the Ballon d'Or. So is Van Dijk better than them?
It's totally different eras, aren't we? We can't keep going back and back.
What do you mean? It's the same era that John Terry were in.
For Terry and Ferd. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
We're not talking about Nesta and Maldini, though, are we? We're not talking about these guys. We're talking about our English Premier League
No, we're
defenders.
going back to the point where you said coming second in the Ballon d'Or, but these players also never came second in the Ballon d'Or, but they were great players.
Yeah, of their time,
And
yeah.
Nemanja Vidic won the PFA, that Player of the Season, in the Premier League twice.
But that season he won the Ballon d'Or, it was absolutely phenomenal. No one's never
But
seen
how
him.
many times has the Ballon d'Or been rigged?
You know.
Ain't been-
Poor Messi and Ronaldo thinking, I don't know about that.
Ali, you're a Man United fan, right? Rio Ferdinand, for me, one of the greats. Like
He was like, they said
six
Rolls-Royce.
Premier League titles he won. You know, he played alongside Nemanja Vidic. He won 5 Premier League titles. And I know that
Yeah,
as a
and Nemanja Vidic
partnership
was
they were
injured.
brilliant, but they were just, for me, alongside John Terry, it's just... I don't think Van Dijk is on that level.
I'm saying, don't get me wrong, no disrespect to Van Dijk. He's a very good player, world class. But I still say John Terry and Rio Ferdinand have got that edge over him.
But what's the...
Because of their
Okay.
longevity.
Let's...
That longevity, Premier League titles, that John Terry Ricardo Carvalho partnership, the Rio Ferdinand Vidic partnership.
Okay. Longevity at 34. Ferdinand was at QPR. At QPR, right? Got sold to QPR. At 34, John Terry wasn't even in the squad and he was getting binned for David Luiz.
Yeah, but hold on, you go on like saying that he's playing for QPR at 34, but who were in the Premier League.
Yeah, but
Rio Ferdinand was playing in the Premier League at the highest level when he was like 24. Van Dijk was playing for Southampton. And he was playing in Scotland. Like, come on, mate. You can't just go on the fact that he was 34 and Rio Ferdinand was at QPR.
Yeah, but Van Dijk's not English.
He's had like 10 years in the Premier League at the highest level.
Yeah, but you've got 2 English players who brought up in England playing for English football. Van Dijk's not English. You can't say he came through. Well, he came later on because he's
Played
not
for
English.
Celtic.
How's he going to come over at some point?
No, I know, but you can't compare that.
Where do you think? Where did Salah come from?
Yeah, but you can't say that Rio was at QPR when he was 34. Like that's not an argument.
Well, you talk about longevity. So if he was a better player, you'd still be playing at the highest level. It comes to a point where you're not.
I don't think you can use that as an argument. Like, I don't think you can use that as an argument. Like you can't. You've got to go based off when Rio Ferdinand, when his time that he was playing in the Premier League, and the time he spent playing at the highest clubs and the best clubs. He done it for way longer than Van Dijk at a high level, for more years and at a better level. He won 6 Premier League titles.
So winning things to find you how good you are. We've seen players win a lot of trophies and medals, but are very average. Steven Gerrard didn't win the Premier League, but do you question Steven Gerrard? Because there's players out there who are more decorated as in that position than Steven Gerrard.
Well, a lot of people would. I wouldn't, but a lot of people would. But that's a different argument. Do you know, that's a different argument.
Oh. Listen, I just think you need to put more respect on Virgil van Dijk. I'm not being a Liverpool fan. I'm saying as a player, when I watch, when my eyes see things, my eyes see defenders, you need to respect Virgil van Dijk. If you look at both of the games, you tell me what's better. Terry, what can he do better than Van Dijk as a player? Forget about what they've won and how long they've been playing in the Premier League. What can John Terry do that is better than Virgil van Dijk? Because it's not one-on-one defending, for starters.
Oh, mate.
Oh, God. Let me get out of here.
Jermaine,
mate,
what are you on about? John Terry can do everything Van Dijk could do. Everything.
I'm saying better, to be a better player.
I'm going to go to Jonathan as a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
Jonathan.
Oh, come on. Like a Chelsea fan's going to back me up.
Jonathan?
Hey, Jeremy O'Hara.
How are you, John?
I'm back.
Spurs are back.
Not too bad, man. How you guys doing?
I'm all right. You?
Good. I'm doing all right. I mean, what is at the Chelsea? What's Jeremy saying? Jeremy, what are you saying, bro? What are you saying?
Okay,
Look, I love listening to you. I've listened to you all the time, but this has really triggered me. It triggered me to call. I've not been calling. I'm a listener, but today I said I'd call and, speak something out. This is the first time you're always trying to compare John Terry, Chelsea legend, to Van Dijk. You can't make that comparison, bro.
Why?
You can't do that. Hold on. Let me get in there.
Okay.
Let me get in there. The last time I heard you made this comparison. You said you turned John Terry in and out, so that makes John Terry a West defender. You can't say that. I've seen many top defenders who top attackers have really made them start on their backside. It doesn't make them West defenders. But look, have you seen John Terry and Rio Ferdinand twerking for attackers? Have you ever seen that? Like you've seen lately from Van Dijk.
Well,
Have you ever seen that?
I've seen it twice with Virgil. Seen it twice.
If you have any personal beef or personal problem with JT, let us know, because you can't keep on making this comparison. It's unacceptable, bro. I heard you. I understand you. You just closed that conversation between, Gerrard and the Szoboszlai. You were spot on, bro. But this, I think that you contradict yourself, bro. You have really contradicted yourself. That is not right. It's not a conversation for us to have between JT and Rio Ferdinand, trying to compare those two top defenders that have done it for many years in the Premier League with VV, Virgil van Dijk. You can't do that, bro.
All right. Do you know what? You can ask probably one of the best strikers out there, right? Who would you rather face, John Terry or Virgil van Dijk? Who would you rather face? I will bet you more times than not, they'll say, I'd rather face John Terry than go up against Virgil van Dijk. For me, as a defender, and that's what will make you a better defender. If they say to me, who would you want to go up against, Ashley Cole or, Leighton Baines? I would say all day long, Leighton Baines. Why? Because Ashley Cole's a better defender.
I want to say it's VVD because he's going to take his backside against me, and I know how to get it.
Yeah.
All right, and try run past him and see how that works out. But come on.
I just want to give you some stats here, right? John Terry, 492 appearances in the Premier League, 41 goals, record for a defender. He's got 214 clean sheets to his name. Won the Premier League title 5 times. Van Dijk, 327 games, 27 goals he's got, and he's got 2 titles. Now I know that can mean irrelevant stats or whatever. You can say what you want.
Virgil van Dijk's playing alongside Joe Gomez at one point and Joel Matip.
What? Yeah, and Virgil van Dijk's playing against one striker. John Terry had to play against 4-4-2 strikers. He's playing against some of the best players in the world. Like, come on, mate. He's playing against Ruud van Nistelrooy, Robin van Persie. He's playing against like the best strikers that the Premier League's ever seen. Like, come on, mate. No. Van Dijk's playing it. The only decent player he comes up. The only decent striker that Van Dijk has to come up against is Haaland.
Who's in the top 5 strikers in the Premier League era? You'd probably say Haaland, 1. You'd say Sergio Aguero, 2. So you can't say, he's playing up against Van Nistelrooy, Thierry, blah blah. Van Dijk's coming up with the top 5 best strikers in the league as well. Haaland, Aguero.
All right, keep going.
I love the strikes.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. come on. They played in a different era when there was a 4-4-2 system. Right?
Rooney.
Yeah, Rooney. Yeah, what?
I've named 3, and you've named Van Nistelrooy and Henry and Robert Van Persie.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure if you asked him about Virgil van Dijk...
You can't tell me that Van Dijk, playing in the era that he plays in now, with the strikers he has to come up against, compared to what John Terry and Rio Ferdinand had to come up against, is a completely different level. It's a different level.
You understand the way they play as well. Van Dijk will be playing 30 yards up further the pitch, not sitting on the edge of the box in a 4-4-2. Like, come on. There's so many elements to the argument going, there was back in then they was playing against this player. You can't... that's not really an argument.
I'm going to go to Max. He's a Man City fan. All right, Max.
Right, boys.
Hello,
All right,
mate.
Max. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, listen, you said a lot of valid points. I just think that a lot of people forget that these things happen in partnerships. So Van Dijk, wonderful player. Company gets forgotten about in these conversations, wonderful player. But as Jermaine said before, Van Dijk's had to deal with the calibre of defender of Matip, of Gomez. The Company had Demichelis. He had Stones at some point, and it's hard when you don't have a solid partnership. Terry had Cahill. Now, Cahill's not necessarily a world
Carvalho as well.
Together. Carvalho as well, right. Together, and Gallas, I think, even at the beginning.
Yeah.
But together, he could be the rock. He had a partnership. It's not like a striker, Haaland, Aguero, Rooney, whatever you want. They are themselves. When it comes to defenders, there's 2 centre-halves, and together they make the units. If you, as much as I hate it as a City fan, you ask most people, who are the top defenders in the league? I'll say Vidic and Ferdinand. I don't know if if individually they were better than Terry, but together they were absolute units. And when you came up against them individually, when obviously on the pitch together, they put the fear of God into you. So I think a lot of times with defenders, their attributes are brought out when they're in a solid, consistent partnership. Van Dijk struggled this season with Konate not always being there for him every week. So that's maybe where Jamie's coming from. And Jermaine's seen, how he is a quality player. And we all agree that he's a quality player. But when there's a partnership which is solid, like Company had with Stones towards the end of his career, then they really come out and the better player shines through. But defensive partnerships are what build those, I think, what build those legendary statuses.
I think he's spot on.
Well, Vincent Kompany's up there as well, by the way. He never really gets talked to. I think he gets an unfair bit of treatment because of how
Jamie,
how
that's
good he
why
was.
I've called in. He never gets called about, but he didn't have anyone like romantic next to him. Do you know what I mean? You're going to call Demichelis and Otamendi. There was a slight leak here, which brings out how good he was because he won a few leagues over 10 years. But it's that partnership together, and you can go back in history. I think Gabriel and Saliba together, they're very young together, and individually, if they're in their own teams, I don't know if we'd know so much about them, but together they have a huge opportunity. If they do well the next decade, we've been talking about them for years. Not because individually Gabriel's better than John Terry or whatever. It's together they could be a unit. And I think that's what happens with defenders.
All right, Max, great call. Let's go to Aaron, who's a Luton fan at Azza.
Hello, bud.
All right, Az.
Yeah, not bad.
Would you want to throw a Luton player in there?
No.
There's one
I've got
in
a
there.
bit more. I've got a bit more football sense than that. To be fair.
Go on.
I think that Van Dijk don't even get near the top 6 or 7 Premier League all-time greatest defenders, and that's me as a Luton fan.
Go on.
And we play some rubbish football.
Go on. Can you name them? Can you give me 5?
Terry, Ferdinand, Vidic,
Yeah.
Adams, Sol Campbell.
Keep going.
We're laughing at.
Keep going. Let's go on. I'm with you. I'm 100% in right now.
You got Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce.
He's having a wind up, mate. He's having a wind up.
It's a bit of a stretch, Steve Bruce there, Az. I mean, you've got a bit rogue there, mate. You could have gone Vincent Kompany.
Might as well go Ali Janssen.
Vincent Kompany's up there.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce has won more Premier League titles than Virgil van Dijk has.
It doesn't matter about how many titles you win.
So he makes a good point, mate. Good player, Steve Bruce.
You're just on it.
No, I'm just, listen, he's gone a bit rogue.
Okay.
He's gone a bit rogue.
But
listen, they're all great players. They're all great players.
You look at you put Virgil van Dijk up against the like of Duncan Ferguson. Van Dijk wouldn't stand a chance. He'd get bullied.
I don't know about that. I'm sure it'll be a good tussle.
The last 5 to 8 years where he's been at Liverpool, you got tippy tappy football. every opportunity someone dribbles at him, he tackles them, but that art of the game's gone now. It's all 1-2 touch.
So every defender from now onwards is not good enough because it's tippy-tappy football.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, you said that
That's
about
not what I'm
Virgil.
saying.
I think it's easier to be a defender now. I think it is. You're
That's-
playing against one
that's what I'm
striker.
getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
You're not playing. You're not playing against your 4-4-2. You're not playing against world-class centre forwards in the Premier League.
You've got to be so much better on the ball now. It's not about like to lump it down the line or for their forwards and wingers to chase onto it and get the second ball.
You've Rio Ferdinand lump it down the line.
You've got to be a lot better on the ball as well. So
Virgil van Dijk, the new one.
I wouldn't say Van Dijk is unbelievable on the ball. By the way.
have you not seen those sprays where
I mean, he can hit a good diag. He hits a great diag. He's no nonsense. And I'm not taking anything away from Van Dijk here. He's unbelievable. He's world class. But like you're saying, you're acting like he's like Maldini on the ball. Like he's no nonsense, Van Dijk.
No.
Like when it goes, it goes. When he hits a diag, it's a diag. He don't. He's not like Rio Ferdinand on the ball. He's not like John Terry on the ball. John Terry's a way better player on the ball.
It's just, do you know what? I guess everyone's got the opinion. Is it who's Messi? Who's better? Ronaldo? People say Ronaldo. Some people say Messi.
But that's a fair argument.
Yeah, and I just think that as an individual defender, I just think Virgil van Dijk is better than John Terry as an individual defender. Not partnerships that they would have strung up. Like people say, the best defender right now is Saliba and Gabriel in the Premier League because of their partnership and how they move together. But individual, I would say Virgil van Dijk. John Terry at Chelsea, that team was just rock. Not because of John Terry, because of the team, because of their partnership, the defence that they had, all from left back to right back to goalkeeper. It was solid.
All right, keep your calls coming in. 03717 22 33 You are listening to the Sports Bar and Talk Sport. Me, Jermaine Pennant, going to be joined by former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher to go over the mad game at Villa Park this weekend. We're going to talk Spurs as well. Sticky situation they find themselves in. I want to hear from Spurs fans. What do you make of the interim manager? He's brought in his own staff as well. But let's get back to some calls before the break. Jermaine Pennant obviously gone out there and said that Van Dijk is better than John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Vincent Kompany. Puts him at the top of the list. He's entitled to his opinion. Let's go to Adam, who's an Arsenal fan. All right, Ad?
Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure.
Go on, Ad. What do you want to say?
Well, I've got no skin in the game being a governor, but Virgil van Dijk, for me, I know he lost his way a little bit after the injury at Everton and stuff, whatever, but he's more of a cultured defender, very skillful. And John Terry, for me, was more guts and blood and thunder. And I actually think that John Terry in this current game will give away 10 to 15 penalties away each week because of the way he's just spread his arms everywhere and he used to get away with it a lot.
Ad, I'm sorry, mate. What are you on about? John Terry would be in first gear in this Premier League. First gear.
Come on, listen, Jamie. When
come on.
His arms used to start going everywhere, and they used to hit his hands, and he used to get away with it all the time. I think they're very, very different types of defenders. Very different.
Yeah, one's better.
But I think they complement each other.
Say Van Dijk's cultured.
He's more cultured than John Terry.
He's not.
Come on.
No, he's not. He's nowhere near. He's nowhere near more cultured than John Terry. John Terry could spray passes all over the park, left and right foot. John Terry could play in midfield.
I'm not about the passing. I'm on about the defending. You're talking about defenders. They're not playmakers.
That's what culture means.
Cultured. He took more time, and he sort of ushers people away. John Terry was more like.
Have you watched Van Dijk? Van Dijk, for me, is a no-nonsense. He's a no-nonsense defender. Van Dijk. When you watch him,
he doesn't dive in, though, does he? You don't see him really dive in. You see him make last-ditch tackles like a clear off the line of it, but you don't see him dive in. He ushers you, he jockeys you, and then when it goes on for a foot race, he then gets his body across, wins the ball. JT can't do that. He hasn't got the pace. He hasn't got the pace. So he would win the challenge. He would win the challenge first.
I don't think one of them is better than the other. I think they're very, very, very different. And any team would like to have them in their back four. But they're very different. They're very different, mate.
Look.
Oh, come on, you're not saying they're the same kind of defender. Surely you're not.
No, I think John Terry's a way better defender than Van Dijk. I don't think there's
How?
Well, because I've watched him play. I've played against him. He's a million times, in my opinion, in terms of what John Terry could do on a football pitch compared to Van Dijk.
But I've played against them as well.
I just feel like John Terry was a Rolls Royce centre half. He could play. He could do everything.
And that's what people say about Van Dijk.
No, but
as a Rolls Royce.
No, I'm not saying he's not a brilliant football player. I'm not saying that. And look,
but you're saying he's nowhere near John. That's just outrageous. To say he's nowhere near.
He's not.
He's
not. For me, Van Dijk.
I know he's your mate and all that, but
he's
not. Take that maintenance out of the way and be
not
honest
my mate
as a footballer.
John Terry's not my mate. All right.
I'm just saying you got to be realistic now and put your football head on and watch them both. Like I said, you played against John Terry. So have I. I've seen Virgil van Dijk in action for the past how many years for Liverpool. You can't tell me he's nowhere near John Terry. It's just no.
Can Van Dijk spray a ball?
Yes, he can.
70 yards with his left foot.
Yes, he can.
No.
Yes, he can. I've seen it multiple times.
Gemma.
You've seen it. Everyone's seen it. Yeah. Get a caller on here. Tell me that they haven't seen him do that to Salah. Please, that was his get out go card.
Left with his right foot.
Both foot.
Oh, you're living in cuckoo land. I don't think I've ever seen Van Dijk hit a ball 70 yards of Salah's foot with his left foot.
But he plays,
I haven't.
He plays left side centre.
He doesn't use his left foot. He doesn't. He doesn't use his left foot.
Of course
he doesn't spray the ball with his left foot. He don't.
Yeah, he does. What? Have you not watched Liverpool? Obviously, you don't. I'm telling you without a shadow of 100% facts. This is not for debate. This is facts. Liverpool. We need some Liverpool callers on here who go to every single home game at Anfield and tell Jamie, please, what Virgil van Dijk does with his left and his right foot.
Right, let's go to Lyle. He's a Liverpool fan. Lyle.
All right,
hello, mate.
Jamie, mate. I don't even know. You're completely dissing Van Dijk. Jermaine, 100% correct. He pinged the one down against Brighton. He pinged one of his left foot down the line. He's passing.
What, channel ball? That don't count. That was a diag.
Terry. Honestly, his passing is at least on par with Terry. Terry played most of his career in a deep, like a low block, completely different. He didn't have the pace to play a high line.
John Terry played against the greatest Premier League strikers in ever, right? Against 4-4-2s, against Alan Shearer's, against
so much more dynamic.
What do you mean?
That was just a physical battle. Those days, the game was slower. The pace of the game was slower.
No, it weren't.
Virgil plays everything at twice the speed. The game now is twice the speed.
Are you joking? Everyone plays a low block. No. Everyone sits on the 6-yard box. It's the slowest Premier League I've watched over the last 3 seasons. Boring.
The only debate of the greatest centre-backs, I'm 52, and I grew up watching Serie A, which was some of the greatest centre-backs. Baresi, Virgil, I think are the two GOATs of all time, to me. In as much football as I've watched, and I guarantee you I've watched more than most listeners. I grew up... I played as a centre-back. I loved watching that Serie A style. But when you watch Serie A games now from the 80s, that great Milan team, it looks like it's on slow motion.
So hold on. I just want to make something clear. So your top 2 centre-halves ever are Virgil van Dijk and Baresi.
I haven't given this a hell of a lot of thought because you just brought this up, but those are the top 2 that come to my mind. I'm going to say
Maldini,
yes, probably yes.
Nesta.
Well, Maldini was better as a left back. Nesta was about 5'9". So in this.
What about Sergio Ramos, Carlos Puyol?
They were great. They were all great. I agree with you. Yes, I would say Ramos is probably 3rd. That's what I would say. But when you break down the games of them, you're making a debate versus Terry. To me, that's close call, but clearly Virgil's ahead. But when you look at all of the greats and take everything into account, well, I grew up watching them all, and that's my opinion. It's going to be subjective. Mate. I sometimes think when players, and I'm going to throw you into this bracket, when players watch the game now. They watch it with a player's perspective. And I think if you look at it from an analytical point of view, it's a little bit different from a player's perspective. When you go out there, it's like when you're watching now, people that are watching and judging Salah, if they're players, they're judging it different to an analytical eye.
What do you mean? What's analytical got? What do you mean by that? Analytical. What does that mean?
Well, okay. So, for example, Maradona, when he became a manager, he had no idea how to manage because he knew it from a player's perspective. That's what I'm saying. As a player, he was untouchable. But as a manager, completely different because he needed an analytical
I'm not trying to manage John Terry, mate. I'm just trying to tell you who's the better player.
You're not trying to.
I'm not trying to manage him. I'm trying to tell you what I can see with my eyeballs.
Jermaine is right with us. He's 100% right. Virgil is so underrated because people want to throw the league title thing at him. But honestly, so many years of Terry's Chelsea days, they were kind of boring to watch. It wasn't a great team to watch.
And Liverpool good to watch.
The football was so dynamic. It was amazing. To me, anyway, Virgil is right up there as the greatest of all time. It's very hard for you to say Mike Tyson versus Ali or all these things and that. It's different in different genres. But to me, Van Dijk has everything. Terry didn't have the mobility that Virgil has.
Yeah,
when you break them down, if you categorized it, to do this.
Yeah, he did.
No, come on, JJ. Come on.
Terry couldn't catch any of them. That's why he played a low block. I honestly thought that Cavallo was actually the better of the two. He was the rock that held them together. Terry was the leader, and Cavallo was the guy next to him that just swept up, did all the dirty work, and Terry took the glory.
You're living in cookie.
I think Virgil hasn't played with the quality centre-backs that Terry did. I think Virgil is superior. That's my opinion.
He's correct.
Oh, listen, thanks for your call. Unbelievable. Wasn't a conversation I thought we was going to have, but we have had it. Continue, bring them in if you want to have your say on that situation. I do want to talk about Tottenham. We're going to got Dermot Gallagher as well to come on, talk about the mad game at Villa Park this weekend. 03717 223344. You're listening to the Sports Bar on TalkSport with TalkSport Bet. Download the new TalkSport Bet app today. 18 plus. Begin with dog.